in the run up to Christmas. So that's an awful lot of email going out. So, you know, look, if you are a retailer, I've got some specific tips for you, and there's lots and lots that you can do. But if you are a service-based business, let's start there to begin with. So the first thing is that you're going to be battling against all of those retail companies in the inbox. That's the first thing. And particularly if you've got a lot of subscribers who have given you their Hotmail, AOL, Yahoo, Gmail addresses, they're probably using those for their retailer communications as well. So you're going to want to make yourself stand out in the inbox. And the first way to do that is with your subject lines. And you should be doing subject line testing and making sure that you're really optimizing your subject lines generally as you go forward. But think about it even more in the run up to Christmas and how you can really stand out and add value to your audience. Now, as service-based businesses, you may well want to give a special Christmas offer to your audience as well. There's nothing to stop you doing that. And, you know, it's a great way to do it and increase those sales for you before Christmas as well. You know, perhaps something that leads them into the new year, something to do with planning maybe, you know, making sure that they've really got that step ahead for going into 2016. That could be something really great for you to do. And obviously it depends on your business. But yeah, absolutely. Make sure you stand out in the inbox and just watch out because the retailers are going to be going crazy during this period. So don't be surprised if you do perhaps see a slight drop in your statistics because of that. And obviously everyone is just very busy preparing for Christmas, and, you know, they may not be thinking about purchasing for their business at the moment and learning anything new. They might be waiting until the new year. So, you know, again, maybe it's more sort of January where you want to then start ramping that up. But certainly think about how you lead people through into the new year if you're a service-based business. And for retailers, and this works for service-based businesses as well, but particularly for retailers, there's really 5 key stages of Christmas that you need to be hitting with your email marketing. And I'm telling you now, if you are not sending emails during these times, your competitors are, and you're going to miss out on those sales. So you've got to be going through the 5 key stages. So the first one is basically November. So it's all of the pre-Christmas stuff. You know, you've already seen the John Lewis ad has launched. That means Christmas has started. So, you know, you've got to start getting that email marketing out there because your competitors really are doing it. You know, whether that's the big companies with all the TV ads and all of the other print ads and online advertising that they're doing. But, you know, even look at their email marketing and you'll see that they've already started. So a lot of companies started end of October, beginning of November, pushing out their products and saying, you know, the ideal Christmas gift and things like that. So November is a really key time. Then you go into your second stage, which is Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So that's at the end of November. Now, wow, this is key time for retailers. And in the UK, it's only in the last couple of years that this has really got really big. And obviously it started in the US, but now it's massive in the UK as well. So again, if you haven't got deals set up for Black Friday and Cyber Monday, get on that, get that sorted. And obviously you can build that excitement as well for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. You know, even with your current list, you can create a segment of people, ask them to opt in almost to say, yeah, I'm really interested in your Black Friday offers. I want to be one of the first to find out. You know, you can use that as your opt-in offer hook, as your lead magnet. You know, sign up to hear about all of our Black Friday offers so that you don't miss out. And don't forget, a lot of people with Black Friday will do their research of what they want to purchase before Black Friday, so that when the sales go live on Black Friday, they're straight in there and then buying what they want. So make sure that you're doing the pre-Black Friday warm-up as well and showing them, you know, lots of different products that you've got. So that's the first 2 stages of Christmas. Then you go into December. So this is really the run up to Christmas. And this is where people are starting to panic buy presents. You know, they've had their last payday. Yeah, I'm exactly the same. I haven't even started my Christmas shopping yet. So December is that really key time. Now, don't forget with that, the key point for you as retailers is your last shipping date. So the last day that you can send out your products by. Now, as service providers, you probably don't have that issue because a lot of stuff you're doing is online or it's one-to-one, perhaps it's an online course. Whereas for retailers, your last shipping date is so key. So you want to make sure that you're communicating that all the way through December so people know what that is. And you send out campaigns specifically around that time as well to push people and say, right, it's the last day for shipping. You know, today's the last day that you can get something posted to you. Then you've got the fourth stage, which is Christmas itself. Now, with Christmas itself, I'm including the couple of days before Christmas as well and Christmas Day. So you've got two elements here. Anytime after your last shipping date, you can still make sales. So think about producing an e-voucher, a gift voucher that somebody can download and print out and give to somebody, or can send to somebody automatically online. It's a great way to make sales in the run up to Christmas after your last shipping date's done. And it's not something I've tested for service-based businesses, but it may well be something that you want to test this year. Perhaps you could offer a gift voucher that you could give to your other entrepreneurial friends, you know, for your services. So, you know, perhaps, you know, a £50 gift voucher that gets them one session with you or something like that. Might be worth testing, not something I've tested before. So it might be worth looking at there. And then also within this stage of Christmas, you've got actually Christmas Day, and do not shy away from sending an email on Christmas Day. So service-based providers, tell people what you've done this year, you know, how great the year's been for you, or just wish people Merry Christmas, you know, just be nice, build that relationship. You know, I've seen great examples from companies who have perhaps given a Christmas recipe or a Christmas drinks recipe, or, you know, a Christmas game, or, you know, something like that, even just as a little bit of fun for on Christmas Day. And as retailers, still a key day to be making sales. So I read a great article in the Daily Mail online, and it literally broke down Christmas Day. So I think it was something like up to 11 a.m. people are still panic buying gift vouchers. So people literally are like obviously waking up Christmas morning going, oh my goodness, I forgot to buy a present for Auntie Jan, and, you know, need to buy that. So gift vouchers up until 11 a.m. Then it switches into things like coffee capsules. Like if they've got a coffee machine, that sort of starts to get.
Okay, hi. I think you can probably hear me. Can you hear me, Jackie? For some reason, the sound has just totally wiped Kate out, which is like, uh-oh, I thought it was me. For those of you watching, the first 5 minutes, I had a bit of a techie issue because I've got two screens open. So I jumped back in, but for some reason now, Kate's just totally dropped the sound. And we can't hear her. And it was just like, wow, I was smiling and nodding, going, yeah. This is so cool, Kate, because what you were sharing was really great stuff straight off the bat. But for some reason, and I don't know why, have you got your headsets in, Kate? I'm trying to see if, is that a necklace or headsets or... No, I think you might have to jump back out, jump back in, Kate, and see if that will jog the audio. Oh, you can't hear me talking? Jackie, can you hear me talking? How bizarre. Come on, Blab, or internet, or whatever's doing this. Oh, thank you, Virtually Roz. You can hear me talking. Kate can't hear me. I can't hear Kate. We can't hear Kate. Technology, hey, this is what it's all about. Try new things and giving it a go. No, technology, yay. Sometimes it gives us a runaround, but that's what it's all about. You have to give it a go. So, yeah, jump back out, Kate. Get yourself out, come back in. Yeah. And let's see, hopefully she'll ping back in. But Coffee capsules, right? We'll remember that one virtually, Ross, because I was smiling and nodding, and then I thought it was me. So yeah, hi there, Wendy. Hello there. So I'm Emma Burford. I'm the digital founder and publisher behind Business Rocks magazine on iTunes and Android. And every month I have a webinar and invite people that I know in. And obviously this month decided I'd invite the lovely Kate Barrett, who I've known for the last couple of years. So for those of you that are joining us now or missed the first intro bit, Kate is the founder of Shine a Light Media. She has been using and working hardcore inside email marketing. She's worked for Adidas, Marks and Spencer's, numerous retail sales outlets, and still subcontracts work from some of these alongside her online business. So hopefully, I think I locked the seat actually. Here we go. I have to remember to open the seat. Sorry, Kate. Let me just try that. Here we go again. She's coming in. And with any luck, we will be able to hear her. No, I can't hear Kate. This is a nightmare. Uh-oh. And you can't hear me. How bizarre. Okay, I have taken one blab before. I know we have some blab experts that have been watching and taking blabs for some time, but it appears that they can hear me. But they can't hear you, and I can't hear you, Kate, which is really, really odd. Have you accidentally touched your microphone? You know, you've got that little mute button. Have you touched it in any way if you're using your podcast mic? Are you using your podcast mic? You can't hear me. So right, I'm saying it. I realise you can't hear me. Are you using your podcast? Probably spell it all wrong now. Mic. Have you touched the mute? Hopefully she can see that now. Hold on, that one. So let's have a look. No, I'm not using a mic. Okay, anyone out there? We're all worldly online business people. Anyone got any good ideas? Because otherwise we're going to have to reschedule Kate's lovely call, and we both put our lipstick on, but there you go, you know. Because this is very odd, or we could jump onto Hangout and try that, I guess. It's not quite the same. Plug it in now and see if it helps. Yeah, good idea. Try the podcast mic just in case, but that is very bizarre that we've got an internet connection. There she is, and suddenly mid-sentence when we got to coffee, some coffee capsules, was it? She's gone. So let's see if that brings it back. Okay, Jackie's saying try getting someone else in the other seat. Would you like to come in then, Jackie, if you can hear me? If anyone would like to come in, do come and join us and I can talk to you. Oh, here we go. Wendy's going to pop in. So let's try Wendy. Okay, Wendy, let's see if we can hear you. That would be interesting. It could be a blip on Blab. So, hi there, Wendy.
Hi.
Oh, I can hear Wendy and I can see Wendy. Yay.
Fantastic. That's really interesting though, Emma. When you accepted me into the actual Blab, you've gone really quiet.
Ah, okay. That is really interesting. I have no idea why that may be. Okay, so Kate's trying her other system. So email marketing. While we're talking about email marketing, Wendy, I think you're using MailChimp at the moment, aren't you? I know I did actually a survey with some of my group members, and MailChimp seemed to come up pretty high in the survey results. But did you manage to catch any of Kate's ideas as we started, or have you just hopped in just a few minutes ago?
No, I've only just joined you. My computer decided it needed to update about 1:45,
okay,
which has just literally finished.
Yeah, as it does.
Not good timing. I really like MailChimp. I've tried a few different ones, but I'm so not, considering that my business is online, you would think that I would be really techy, but I'm so not. I have to have everything done for me. And I find MailChimp just really, really easy to use.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know I have used it many years ago and it is a good system. And in fact, I know Kate uses it an awful lot. So, Kate, can we hear you?
I don't, can you hear me now?
Yes, you can. Although I did hear a bit of an echo. I heard me in the background, which is weird.
Yeah, it's the screen. For some reason, I could hear you talking, but you ladies were just sitting there. And then I can see your mouths moving, and then there's no words. Something is going on strangely with the sound.
Maybe that might be a bit of an internet connection then, but that's odd to be able to, because you obviously, we could see you moving really, really quickly, but then couldn't hear anything at all. So cool. Well, we've got you back for now. So Wendy's joined us. We're going to carry on and give this another go. And Virtually Roz has very kindly told us we got up to some point, which has gone whizzing back now, but it was around coffee capsules. I don't know if we can hold that thought, whether you held it, Kate, because you're probably halfway through a million sentences. So I think we got as far as Christmas Day. So perhaps if you can bring us back up from Christmas Day. In fact, before you do that, I'm going to just have another quick recap, because this blab obviously was something I thought I'd do pretty much yesterday, wasn't it, Kate? We were chatting and I said, come on, let's give blab a go, because I know we've both been using it and I do really love the system. I think the potential is really good. So we thought it'd be really fun because you've got the live chat element. And I have to say, I've already made a big disaster. So one tip learned, because I had got two screens open and I had a problem at the very beginning, which I think most of you missed. I forgot to press the record button, Kate, until we were kind of like past your intro into the other bit. And then I realised. So I will just get a quick recap of where you are. I did mention it earlier. It's shinealight.media.com, Kate Barrett, and she's going to be talking about the email marketing. So any questions at all, whatever stage of your business you're in, please do pop them into the questions box. And she will definitely give you some answers as we go along. And at the moment, we're talking about Xmas sales for your email marketing, how you can build the sales and different ideas that you can put into your marketing bag. So, Kate, I'll hand back over to you. Thank you.
Okay, excellent. So yeah, my sound and you guys on the screen it's not connected. So there's a little bit of a difference there. So hopefully I'm not talking over you or anything right now. But yeah, so just do my little intro again then. So I'm Kate Barrett. I'm the founder of Shine a Light Media and the Email Marketing Academy. And I specialize in helping retail entrepreneurs to save time and increase their revenue using email marketing. So hopefully everyone can hear me now and we're all okay. But basically I was talking about 5 stages of Christmas. So for anyone who didn't hear my little bit at the beginning, basically for service-based businesses, there are certain things that you can absolutely do during this time, and you're going to have to really watch out for I'm trying to remind myself of what I've said. For the inbox is going to be really, really jam-packed with information from retailers, because this is the time of year that retailers go crazy with their email marketing. So around 25% of all retailers' emails are going to be sent out during this time of the run-up to Christmas. So as service-based businesses, you've got to make yourself stand out in the inbox. So the way to do that is certainly to start by looking at the subject line and how you can really, really stand out in the subject line and keep yourself, really popping against all of the retail stuff that's going on. So carry on with what you're doing and that kind of thing, but certainly test your subject line. Look at using symbols in your subject line. One of my clients increased their open rate by 50% just by putting a symbol in their subject line that made sense to their subject line, but it really made them stand out in the inbox. So worth doing something like that. And then the other thing that I was talking about more specifically for retailers is the 5 stages of Christmas. So the first stage is November, where we are right now. So it's basically the lead up to Christmas. So John Lewis have put their advert out. Christmas has started officially. And this is the time when you need to be starting with your Christmas email marketing. So giving people gift idea inspiration, gifts for him, gifts for her, gifts for kids, whatever that is, depending on your retail business. Give people inspiration as to what they can buy. Don't just say, buy from us, we've got loads of products for you. Give them specific examples of products that they could buy for each of those people, because people are so overwhelmed in the run up to Christmas, they need as much help as they can get. So direct them to specific products that would be great as gifts that you offer. So that's the first stage, is November. Then you've got the second stage, which is Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So definitely make sure that you're targeting those. So if you haven't got campaigns and sales planned already, get onto those. Absolutely. This is such a key time. It used to just be the US, but now it's certainly a lot more in the UK. So really, really killer time for retail businesses. And make sure you're building up just the build up in terms of coming up to Black Friday. So, you want to use it as almost a teaser. So you can use some segmentation in your list and get people to opt in if they're interested in hearing specifically about Black Friday sales from you, so that you've got a list there of such hot leads that want to buy from you as soon as those sales go live. You could use it as your lead magnet, for people to sign up. And that's the benefit, is that they're going to hear first about Black Friday. Perhaps you give your email subscribers a little something extra for Black Friday. And I've got one of my clients that's doing that and planning that. And I think that's going to work awesomely for her. So she's got 20% off for everybody else, but 30% off for her email subscribers only. So you've got to be on the list to get the extra special discounts and benefits that come with Black Friday. So build that up in the run up to Black Friday, and then Black Friday, Cyber Monday, really big weekend. Stage 3 of Christmas, specifically for retailers, that is so key, is then December. This is the time when people are panic buying. They haven't bought their gifts. I know this is the time when I buy all my gifts. They had the last payday before Christmas. This is the killer time for those gifts. So you might want to consider doing even an advent calendar. So an advent calendar is great because it means you can send out an email every day. It's new, valuable, relevant, interesting content, but you can then reveal different products behind each window, perhaps with a special offer on a specific product. Perhaps it's a competition that you're running to win that product as you go through the advent calendar. Something like that can work really, really well for your Christmas email marketing. But obviously December, the key thing that you want to be talking about is the shipping dates. So the last date for postage in December. And you want to be obviously mentioning that in all your campaigns leading up to that. And then you have specific emails that go out around that and targeting that and letting people know, you've got 2 days left, you've got 1 day left, here's the last day you can get shipping. So that's stage 3 of Christmas. Stage 4 of Christmas is actually Christmas Day and the few days leading up to that. So once your last shipping date has gone, then you may be thinking, well, how can I make sales in the run up to Christmas? Oh my goodness, this is the key time to then push out e-vouchers. So vouchers where people can then order those online, and they can either send them directly to people or then print them out to give to somebody. And Christmas Day is a really, really key day as well. Don't shy away from sending an email on Christmas Day. So for service-based providers as well, Christmas Day can be really, really key. It's just, even if it's relationship building, saying Merry Christmas and really, giving them perhaps something a little bit inspirational. So perhaps give them, a Christmas game or Christmas recipe or Christmas drinks recipe, or something like added value for them, just to say Merry Christmas and I love you as my email subscribers, something like that. But for retailers, this is a key day to make sales as well as just being nice and saying Happy Christmas. Because not only have you got any pre-Boxing Day sales, so a lot of retailers nowadays open their Boxing Day sales early online on Christmas Day for people to buy. So obviously that's something to advertise. But also I was reading, and this is where we got to the coffee capsules, so I'm almost caught up with where we were. I was reading a really interesting sort of survey on the Daily Mail online that broke down Christmas Day and sort of the buying habits as you go through Christmas Day. So up until about 11 a.m, people are still panic buying gift vouchers. I guess they're going to see people and they've forgotten Auntie Jan and they think, oh goodness, right, I'll buy her a gift voucher and print it off and I can give that to her. So gift vouchers are still key on Christmas Day morning. Then as you go through and people open their gifts, then you've got things like, coffee capsules. So if they've got like a coffee machine, you see sales of those increase. This is particularly like on sites like Amazon and things like that. If somebody's got a Kindle or, perhaps like an Apple product or something, then you'll see all those digital downloads starting during the morning on Christmas Day as well. Then obviously as we go through the day, for the UK, 3 o'clock is a key time because we've got the Queen's speech, which I know I certainly stop everything for. And listen to, and people stop shopping during that time as well. So you see a real drop off in the sales that are made at about 3 o'clock on Christmas Day. And then as you go through into the evening, what I found really interesting was that it's shown that there's an increase in travel
purchases. So people looking for and booking holidays increase on Christmas Day in the evening. So they've obviously just had such a stressful day with all the family and everything that they think, no, I've got to go away on holiday now. And they're frantically booking holidays on Christmas Day in the evening. So it's really remarkable that people are online. They are, as soon as, you know, breakfast is over, and to be honest, even not then, but throughout the whole entire day, people are still purchasing online. So it's not like it used to be. So definitely take advantage of that and make sure that you're targeting people on Christmas Day as well. Say Happy Christmas, but maybe give them a special offer. Give them something inspirational, or lead them into buying products. Something really, really cool is, sort of sending an email saying, did Santa not bring you what you wanted in your stocking this morning? Come online and shop with us and get it yourself. That can work really well on Christmas Day. So that's stage 4. And then stage 5 of Christmas, particularly for retailers. But again, this stage can work really, really well for service-based businesses, is between Christmas and New Year. Okay. So you are, getting ready for the new year, New Year's resolutions, for retailers, obviously New Year parties and things like that. And then, leading into the new year and the New Year's resolutions and all of those types of things. So really key time there as well. So those are the 5 key times of Christmas, particularly for retailers, but there's certainly opportunities there for service-based businesses to get in on the act as well. So I can see a question coming in. So saying Happy Christmas is done more so over in the UK versus Happy Holidays. I think, to be honest with you, you need to look at your type of audience. Now, obviously, Christmas is a Christian festival. So a lot of bigger companies are moving away from using the word Christmas and saying Happy Holidays to be more inclusive of lots of different religions and, people who perhaps aren't massively a great fan of Christmas. So I don't think it's necessarily so much a UK versus US thing. I think it's more of a religious tolerance and making sure that what you're doing is relevant to a lot of people. So Happy Holidays can be a great way to do that. So look at your own wording, but look at how your brand talks about things. If Christmas is the word that you use Christmas. It's your brand, it's your business. But do remember that not everyone celebrates Christmas. And even if they are perhaps Christian and do technically celebrate Christmas in that way, some people can just be the Grinch and don't like Christmas. So, you've got that side as well that you've got to look out for. But really great question there. Okay. So what else have we got coming in, Emma?
Just take myself off mute now, so hopefully you can hear us. Wendy's got some questions, so I think I'm going to open up the seat and see if she wants to hop in and join us, Wendy, because that's quite a long question, and I'm sure Kate can give you a fantastic answer on that one. So thank you, Kate. Those 5 tips for seasonal things are really, really great stuff. They apply to so many different businesses, and I, for one, have set up last year a 12 Days of Christmas campaign, which I used on my digital magazine app, and it was a lot of work. So 6 weeks out, get it set up now in the next couple of weeks. I was doing it sort of a week or so before Christmas, kind of thinking, why did I not do this earlier? But, it was an idea that came up at the time and I thought, I'm going to go with it. I could use push messages. I sent out a daily email and it was all driving traffic back to my magazine app. So I loved that idea. Obviously, iTunes did it. So it's like, well, if they're going to do it, I'm going to do it too. So
exactly.
So,
that's the thing. It doesn't just work for retail. It works for service-based businesses as well. So thinking about how can I adapt that and use that to stand out in the inbox and give my subscribers something extra special. So Advent calendars, 12 Days of Christmas, Christmas Day, and leading into the new year, really key times and ideas for service-based businesses as well.
Yeah, and it's just thinking outside of the box and applying some of the things that you've shared with us for the last 20 minutes or so. So Wendy's got a great question. Fire away, Wendy. We can see you and hopefully we can hear you, I think. So I'll just put myself back on mute so there's no...
Hi, Kate. So I'm using MailChimp. Hi. I'm using MailChimp. But what I found is I have different lists. So, for example, I have a list that is specific to people who want to know about law of attraction. But then over the last year or so, I've moved much more into just helping people in business with things like accountability, productivity, all of that sort of thing, and obviously the mindset around it. So I'm very aware that some people who are on like the business list don't necessarily want the law of attraction stuff, and the people who are on the law of attraction list don't want the business stuff, which is fine. That's absolutely fine. That's why I created the separate lists. But occasionally I have something that I want to send out that is relevant to like 5 different lists that I've got. So I've sent that message out to the different lists individually before, but then I've sort of had people say, you know, you sent me like 5 messages, and you think, oh no, you know, because obviously they're on the same list. So how do I avoid doing that?
Okay, so that's a really, really great question. And it's a question that a lot of people who are using systems like MailChimp, it's something that they struggle with a lot. You know, with these entry-level systems like MailChimp, Aweber, Constant Contact, there are limitations to the systems. Now, I personally think that MailChimp is a great system, particularly when you're getting started. It has a lot of things that the others don't. But this is one of the major limitations of MailChimp, is there's no way of automatically moving people around between lists. So it's a bit of a manual process, I'm afraid. But what I would recommend that you do is amalgamate those lists into one main list. Now, you can either amalgamate them and then, you know, sort of delete those other lists and remove them so you're not duplicating in terms of your cost in MailChimp. Although MailChimp is so cost effective that, you know, unless you've got thousands and thousands and thousands of people, it's not going to cost you that much more to have them in your system twice. But obviously it may bump you up into the next price bracket. So something to think about there. But what you want to do is still know where these people have come from and know what that difference is, because this is your segmentation and this is how you're getting personal with people when you do have information that you just want to send to the law of attraction list, for example. So what I would recommend is when you upload those people into one main list, you want to be tagging them in some way. So that's either a custom field in your database. So a field is like where you've got first name or email address or something like that. So you could have a field that says source. And when you update them, make sure that when you download the people from Law of Attraction, you add an extra field into that Excel file before you upload it again that puts its source as Law of Attraction. You know, so you can do it manually like that. Or when you download people and when you then upload them into your main list, make sure that in the main list you've set up groups. And then when you upload that data into it, select that specific group option, so Law of Attraction, general business, and use that as your way to effectively tag people. So you can either use groups or you can use a custom field where you type in the information into it in MailChimp. But this is one of the limitations of MailChimp, and it is a manual process to be able to bring those together. But yeah, something you're going to need to do if you want to make sure that you haven't got duplicates. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, because I've looked at the groups before, but so like came to a bit of a standstill with it. So if I had like a main list and then I had the different groups.
Yep.
And so like I had like one group is Law of Attraction, one group is business.
Yeah.
And I wanted to just send it to absolutely everyone in the group. So I would then have the option to just click the whole list.
Yes.
Is that right? Yeah,
yes, absolutely. Cool. So you then send it to your whole main list. And then if you wanted to just send it to the Law of Attraction people within that list, when you create your campaign and you choose your main list and then you choose send it only to a segment of this list, and you choose based on the group, you then choose the groups, and then that narrows it down again for you. So by putting everyone into one main list and either using groups or custom fields, you've got the ability to send to everyone or just send to the smaller segment of your list.
Oh, that's brilliant, Kate. Thanks so much for that. That's really clear.
Yeah, no, that's a fantastic response. One-on-one training for you there, Wendy. So you can pick up the replay, go step by step. I can see you hurriedly writing some notes.
Yeah.
You can go and replay later. So some great comments from some of the guys here. So thanks to, well, it's difficult saying who you are, but Filippo Levesi, can't pronounce it. Sorry, he was saying active campaigns, another alternative. I was mentioning that I've got an Infusionsoft account. The reason I took the Infusionsoft account is because of the integration with the digital app that I use, which worked better a year ago than Aweber, which I've been with for years. So yeah, that's another one that I believe is very good. And also, where's it gone? Scroll up a bit. I think somebody, G. Stockton, was saying that he uses HubSpot. Now, I know HubSpot is one that's come up recently. How do you feel about some of those email ESP providers, Kate? What are your thoughts on those?
Okay, so right, I'm going to put this subject to bed, because basically there are literally thousands of different systems out there. Okay, so I haven't personally used each and every one of those, and I mean literally thousands. I am a co-editor at the moment of a great site called Email Vendor Selection, and just on their list, I mean, they've got a couple of hundred, and they're the top ESPs. And again, in my career, I've worked with everything from MailChimp and Aweber all the way through to massive systems like SmartFocus, DotMailer, Pure 360. There are so many different systems. The key here is, firstly, get recommendations from other people. Absolutely. But you've got to use what's right for you. Okay. So this depends what integrations you need with other systems that you're using. This depends on the pricing that's right for you. This depends on the functionality that those systems have, because different systems will have slightly different functionality as to what they can and can't do. It really depends. So what you need to do is go out there and do some research. Absolutely start with recommendations. And it depends, if you're on the just getting started end of the scale, then you probably want to look at MailChimp, Aweber, Constant Contact, something like that is certainly the sort of lower end of the scale. Then you've got what I would call the middle end of the scale, which Infusionsoft, I would certainly put in that middle end of the scale. And then you've got the big end of the scale. So, in the last sort of 10, 11 years, I've worked with, individual entrepreneurs all the way through to massive businesses like Adidas, Nissan, EDF Energy, Secret Sales, really big businesses, and then they use those really powerful systems. But I mean, those systems cost a lot of money. They are fantastic systems and they've got so much functionality, but if that's not in your budget and you don't need all that functionality right now, then they're not going to work for you. So you've got to choose what's right for you. So, I get people saying to me a lot of the time, what system do you recommend? And those are kind of the bases that I go through to recommend something for them is, pricing, functionality, any integrations that you need, and you've got to have a play around with it. Get demos with different systems. If they do a free trial, sign up, do that, play around with it, because sometimes just the user interface, I know particularly at the lower level with the MailChimps and the Awebers and the Constant Contact, just the user interface can make a massive difference in terms of whether people like it or not. So it really depends on what you need, what your budgets are, and go from there. But, look, every system that's out there is a business that's running as a business. So there are people that love that system and there are people that hate that system. Otherwise, they wouldn't still be going as a business. So you've got to look at what's best for you and your business, not anybody else's business.
Yeah, I'd absolutely agree with that. Go with the recommendations, because your business is, go and find someone in the similar business and find out what works and get a mentor or ask them, because there's nothing worse, which I did a year or so ago now, moving from one email service provider to another. You don't want to be doing that too often. So you want to make sure that whatever you choose has got the most flexibility for the business as you grow. So that's what's really important.
So important. Yeah, it's not just what you need now, it's what you're going to need in 6 months, 12 months, a couple of years time, because as your list grows and you get more and more campaigns, it becomes harder and harder to move. It's not impossible, but then I offer a service where I help people switch ESPs, and particularly for the bigger businesses, this is a big task. And we won't go into the technicalities of it, but, especially as you become a bigger and bigger sender, and once you're onto a dedicated IP, and again, we won't go into all of that, but that's where it becomes even harder to switch. Not impossible, and people do it all the time, but you need a lot more expertise and a lot more time and resources to move you to another system. So definitely start with recommendations, but don't just take a recommendation from someone and go, oh, well, because so-and-so says that this is a good system, I'm going to use that. Go and test it for yourself, speak to the sales teams, get a demo of the system, or employ someone like myself to help you go through that process and choose the system that's right for you, because it's such an important part of email marketing. But look, if you're just getting started, something like MailChimp, Aweber, Constant Contact, any of those, have a play around with them. They're going to get you started for a reasonably low budget. But particularly as you start to move up and you need more and more functionality, you grow your list bigger, then you really need to consider this so carefully. So yeah, get recommendations to begin with, but go with what you need for your business, because your business and someone else's are different. So go with your needs.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some great comments in the chat box. Thanks, guys. Yeah, they're saying, basically pay attention to what you want to get out of it. And, that's so true. So, Kate, I know hopefully some more of you have got some more questions. So if you want to ask Kate a question, you want to hop in the blab, let me know in the chat if you've got a specific question. I'm happy to get you in here. And if you like what Kate's sharing, which I know she is an invaluable source of information, so do pick her brains while she's here, and do tell a little bird in the, hold on, I think it's that way. I'll get it right. I'll do this.
That's the way, Emma.
In fact, if you're watching the replay, it's up there. Because I've actually got the replay will be going out to my website, which is www.businessrocks.co/live. So if you want to go back through and pick up those notes, then you'll be able to catch that on the replay on the website as well. So thank you, Kate. That's fantastic. So let's have a look. Anyone got another question for Kate, specifically about perhaps email marketing? How, well, anything really. If you've got something specific you want to find out about, let us know. And in the meantime, Kate. Yeah. Hi, Wendy.
Hi, sorry. Yeah, can I ask another question? Kate, is there I know that you just talked about the Christmas campaign, and obviously that's slightly different within how often you're sending out your emails, but is there a best amount of time to leave before sending out your emails? Is it like weekly? Is it, more than that or less than that?
Yeah, I absolutely love this question. I get asked this question all the time, Wendy. So it's a really, really, really great one. And okay, I'm going to give you some inside knowledge that I usually share with my paid clients. Frequency, completely irrelevant. Completely irrelevant. Too many entrepreneurs and too many of my clients worry about how often they're sending emails. And the reason I say it's irrelevant is for a couple of reasons. And you have to meet this criteria for that to be true. Okay. So in terms of frequency, if you set expectations on your sign up form and tell people how often you're going to email them and what you're going to email them with, that's criteria number one. And then when you do email them, if it's interesting, valuable, relevant content, that's cool, because it's what you've told them you're going to send to them. It's when you're going to send it to them. And it's something that's really interesting and informative for them. So if you can meet those two criteria, frequency becomes irrelevant. So let me give you an extreme example. And it's a retail example, but it kind of gives you that extreme example. So if you look at the daily deals sites, so, Groupon or Voucher or anything like that, when you sign up for those, you clearly see on the sign up, we will send you emails every day with the latest deals and offers. You sign up, that's what you're going to receive. So then every day you get another email from them, which is absolutely fine because that's what you've signed up for. And it's new, valuable, relevant, interesting information that they're sending out to you. So that's kind of an extreme example. So as long as you meet those two criteria, and I'm going to add in a third criteria as well, it's something that you can cope with consistently, then frequency is completely irrelevant. So if for you, sending out an email once a week is something that you can do consistently with valuable, relevant, interesting content, that's absolutely perfect. And just make sure and sign up that you tell people every week you're going to be receiving emails from me, once a week with, phone's going in the background. Sorry about that. With this type of content, and be really specific about what those benefits are, what they're going to receive, what they're going to learn, what they're going to, how it's going to enhance them if they're signing up to receive those emails from you. So you want to be really specific about that on the sign up form. So if you meet those three criteria, frequency is irrelevant. What I would say on the other side is you don't want to be emailing any less than once or twice a month, because people will forget you. People are very fickle like that. They sign up to a lot of different email lists. They're getting a lot of information. You do not want to leave it so that they forget you. So at least once or twice a month. But look, if you've got, I'm signed up for a coach that sends out daily tips. It's like a daily motivational tip. Well, that's cool. That's valuable, relevant, interesting content. I signed up to receive a daily tip from her, so I'm cool with that. That's fine. That's something she's sending me daily. So as long as you meet those criteria, frequency is irrelevant. Now I'm seeing a comment in the, and I'm just going to address this.
Yeah.
So someone has said in there saying, never send on a Friday and we avoid Mondays. We're B2B. Right. Well, okay. So now look, the Friday thing, it's difficult because business to business, a lot of people are going to be working Monday to Friday. So if you start to send on a Saturday or Sunday, they may not be checking their emails at that time. You may see a slightly lower response. But this is really, really killer. And I get people say to me, should I be, I've seen a report that says that Tuesday at 10 a.m. is the best time to send. Okay, but do you know what? That report goes out. It's an average. It's a generalization. And as soon as people see that, if everyone starts to send on a Tuesday at 10 a.m., it very quickly becomes the worst time to send your emails. Okay. So in terms of when is best to send, you've really got to do the testing yourself and look at your audience. Now, you can look at that overall and run complete tests. And, I've run them for various businesses where we've literally split it down to the hour of the day and the day of the week and run some really sophisticated tests to see what that is. And I'm saying, analytics told us and it proved that when we tried to send out on a Friday. So you've got to go with what your statistics are telling you, not what an overall average is telling you. There are also programs out there that do things called send time optimization. So again, as you move up into some of the bigger ESPs, and some third-party providers give this as well. Send time optimization where it's optimized, not based on your list as an average, but based on each individual subscriber. So as you get more sophisticated with your email marketing, as you get more powerful systems, you can look at doing something like that in terms of what day of week and what time of day to send, because then that does it personally for each individual subscriber as to when they are most likely to interact with your emails, not your list as a whole. So there's lots of different things to look at here, but overall, be consistent. If you're going to send an email once a week, send it every week on a Tuesday or a Wednesday or a Thursday or a Friday, whatever day of week that is, send it out on those days. Now, look, definitely don't disregard Saturdays and Sundays and certainly test them. Now, for obviously retailers, 100% definitely test those. And even service-based businesses, test them, because if you're targeting entrepreneurs don't work the usual Monday to Friday. So, that kind of doesn't necessarily work for that audience. So it really depends on your audience, but test it and watch your own statistics. So frequency and when to send, hopefully that answers those questions.
It does. And I know...
Thanks so much.
Yeah, no, that's a great answer.
Can I just ask one quick question, one more, and then I'm going to drop out and let somebody else come in?
No, that's cool.
Because I post videos on YouTube on a Friday for my main channel, and I do 1 or 2 blog posts throughout the week as well. Now, and I've heard a lot of people saying, always when you've added something like a blog post or a YouTube video, then send a link to your mailing list. So realistically, that would probably be like twice a week. But then I've also got people subscribed to my YouTube channel, subscribed to my blog. So they're going to get that. The people certainly from my blog are already going to get a notification that there's a new post. So what's your take on that? Do you think it's a good idea to mail them with these links, or perhaps not?
I think, again, test it for your audience, Wendy. So, try sending out an email on each of those times. So when you have your video go out, when you have your blog post go out, test it. So, perhaps run it for a few weeks or run it to half of your list where you test it and see what those results are, and then test it the other way and maybe do like a weekly roundup or something like that. Now, the other thing you can do is give people the option. So again, you can use the groups in MailChimp to add onto your sign up form a specific question that asks, what would you like to receive from me? Would you like to receive an email about the weekly video? And if they tick yes, then that's your segment to send out the weekly email for the video to. Would you like to hear from me every time a blog post goes live? Yes, okay, that's your segments to send out for your blog posts. So you can start to get a little bit more clever and sophisticated in terms of using segmentation and actually asking subscribers what they would like to hear about, and then sending to those specific subscribers based on what they've asked about. So yeah, test it, either test it to your audience, see what the results say, or ask people and ask them what they want to receive from you.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I'm going to definitely check out, you know, the group thing to sort of break that down. I think that it just puts the power into your subscribers' hands rather than you deciding, oh, well, no, I don't think that person's going to want this, and I think that person will want to. It just gives them the power, which I think, again, just builds the relationship, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And it's a little bit more work for you to do the segmentation and things like that. But like you said, it's giving the subscribers the power. And more importantly, it's giving them what they want when they want it. And that is the key to email marketing. So yeah, it's starting to get a little bit more sophisticated and moving away from that batch and blast, sending to everybody, because that certainly isn't where you're going to get the best results. You know, it really is when you start to segment, get more personal. And in this case, it's getting more personal based on their interests and what they want to receive from you when they want to receive it. So it's just one way you can start to segment. So yeah, definitely a good way to go.
Thanks so much. I'm going to drop out now, but I'm going to stay in the chat. So
brilliant, Wendy. Great questions. I really enjoyed that, because obviously we've got some fantastic comments in the side. So thank you for hopping in and being brave, because not everyone wants to come on camera, particularly women, because they think, oh, you know, we haven't got any makeup on, or we're not dressed, or our hair's all a mess, or So if anyone else wants to hop in and ask Kate a question about email marketing, we'd love to have you join us. If you're enjoying Kate's content, do tell a little bird on this side. I think I got that right.
Tell a little bird, I think, it's that way, and then comments is that way.
Okay, well, whichever. Both, let us know, and I'll get it right next time. I have to say, a lot of people watching, we've all got our own systems. We've all tried different things. We're all in different phases of our business. So there may be some people watching it here who haven't got an email service provider, which we touched on briefly at the beginning. But basically, where we're saying, oh, send on this day, don't send on that day, send on da-da-da. If you haven't sent an email for a while, I would still say just send it. You know, there's no harm in sending it. The only thing I would say is not to apologize for, oh, I haven't sent one for a month. You know, don't put all that stuff in your emails. That's not important. People won't remember when you last sent them necessarily. So just a silly little tip there. But, you know, if there are people watching and perhaps they're new and they're starting their business, then don't worry about, you know, having to send on a certain day. But as we evolve, as our businesses progress, and we move systems and we get more advice, particularly from Kate, we can really fine tune what we're doing. And I love the idea. I think Gary mentioned surveys. So again, there's so many clever little tricks that you can build into your campaigns and tagging and all of those things that will really help us gain a better relationship with our potential customers, or, you know, our existing customers. So great stuff there. So I'm just having a quick look to see if anyone's got any specific questions. So any other questions for Kate? Because we've been on the blab now for nearly an hour. I know Kate definitely can talk lots more on email marketing. So if you've got a specific question, but if not, we'll probably run for another 10 minutes. Maybe, Kate, do you think you've got another extra bit of information we can share with you? Then we will do that. And as I say, if you're loving it, tell a little bird, which is that way, I've been told.
I think so, yeah.
So, I mean, it's such a broad topic, email marketing. We didn't hone down on a specific today, did we, Kate? So we thought we'd talk a little bit about Christmas, because that's so relevant now, with it really kind of flying at us very quickly. And for many of us, we've probably done a lot of the planning already. But I think, you know, obviously, in fact, Wendy's saying she's already sent a Christmas Day message out on Christmas Day last year. So yeah, that's a good thing to do. You can plan that and schedule it, and, you know, still enjoy your Christmas Day. Obviously, you don't have to be sitting there emailing, which is a good thing. So
yeah, get it scheduled in. But, you know, it's a great day for sending out an email. You know, service-based business, just to build a relationship. Retailers, you can actually make sales. So yeah, really, really good day to be sending out emails.
Yeah, I know. Leon's just said we use time-based email. I know we did touch on that probably maybe before you jumped in, but yeah, obviously you can fine-tune that, can't you, Kate, and get your times right.
Yeah, and I think what we're talking about here is email automation. Yeah, absolutely. And this is where I have something called what I like to call the holy trinity of email marketing. So right message, right person, right time, and triggered emails, automated campaigns are where you're getting towards that. So what we're talking about here is moving away from that batch and blast, same message to everybody, and getting personal. So using segmentation, using your data to actually bring in personalized information into your emails. So, that could be segmentation, it could be actual data. And then, you triggered emails, automated campaigns. Oh, they are just the best emails you can ever send. And they take time to set up in the first place. But once you've got them set up, you do need to review them every now and again and optimize them and make sure that the data in them is still up to date. But they are literally, they meet that right message, right person, right time, holy trinity. So absolutely, love that. If you haven't started using triggered emails yet, please start using them, because the results that you're going to get from those types of campaigns, from segmentation, from personalization, are so much better than you get just from your regular types of emails that you send out. So a newsletter or a regular sales email that you send out to everyone, for example. Segmentation, personalization, and triggering. Those are your three sort of
the top three.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, well, I hope that answers your question, Leo, and I think you're giving us a high five. So high five. That one's cool. So Gary's actually put some questions in the questions box, which I can see over there too. So actually, I'd love to know if any of you blabbers that have been blabbing quite a while. I thought it was #/Q or something, but I haven't quite worked out. And I asked Kate, and she's like, I'm not sure either, because I guess for you, Kate, you've been sort of sitting there on blabs, not asking questions. So if anyone can enlighten me, do put in the chat. No, that did work, Leona. So whatever you did, I can't see what you did, but it did work. So thank you.
Yeah, the forward slash
Q. Okay, that's interesting, because I tried that at the very beginning of the blab before it went live, but I couldn't see anything. So perhaps the answer is you have to be on the live blab for it to show. So that's good to know. So Gary's asked, any tips on migrating folks from social media followers to email subscribers?
Wow.
So obviously that's a biggie.
Yeah, well, I was going to say to you, Emma, I think we might have to plan some more blabs and talk about like automated campaigns and segmentation and split those up into separate blabs. And I think, maybe growing your email list is another one that we can separate out, and maybe we'll do a little email series about email marketing.
Give Kate a few props, put a few hands. If you like the idea of that, we'll do another one, because it is such a massive topic. Yeah. But just briefly, maybe your top tip for migrating social media followers, because there's so many, aren't there?
Yeah. Tell them about your email program. That's the key. If they don't know about it, then they're not going to be able to sign up. And you've got to give them a reason to sign up. You've got to give them that incentive. Now, that can be an incentive as in a lead magnet, an opt-in offer, a special, hook, whether that's for service-based businesses, an ebook, a video, or for product-based businesses, if that's a discount or, whatever that is, depending on what you're doing. But the key is, you've got to tell them about it. So there's lots of different ways. So running a competition is a great way, using social media to grow your email list. That can work really well. And that's kind of your hook, your reason for them to sign up is to sign up for the competition. Just putting out organic posts, teasers, I'm going to be talking about this in my next newsletter. Make sure you're on the list so that you don't miss out, or, some teasers are really good like that. And just to say, a newsletter is an informational based email. It's one type of email that you can send. So sales based emails, completely different. Newsletter is what it does on the tin, news and information based. I know a lot of people just call email marketing generally newsletters. So I just wanted to clear that up as well. But in terms of social media, so running a competition, teaser posts, running specific ads, so Facebook ads, Twitter ads, where you can get really targeted with, who you're targeting. And again, you've got to give them a reason why they've got to give you their email address. And this is a massive, massive topic we could spend a long time on, but you've got to get that information in front of people. And it's depending on where your audience is. So again, social media, again, in itself, whether that's Blab, Periscope, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. You know, there's so many different channels. You've got to be where your subscribers are, where the people that you want to attract into your business are, and then create a strategy for that specific social media channel. But you've just got to get it in front of the people.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'll share one Twitter tip that I would recommend for putting your newsletter in. Don't go checking my Twitter, because I don't know that I've actually got it on there at the moment, but I do swap it around. And that's, you get the facility to add a pinned post on your Twitter account. So you can have a nice little tweet set up with an image and put, you know, sign up for my newsletter, but something a little bit more exciting and enticing, and an opt-in on there, and pin it to the top of your Twitter. And then remember to just keep tweeting it out now and again. But the main thing with Twitter is to kind of change it, swap-a-roo a bit. Don't have it all the same all the time, because it gets a bit boring. So just, you know, remember to use that pin post, because people do go and check you out, go and have a look, and it'll be the top post. They'll see that and think, oh yeah, I fancy signing up for your newsletter. So just on newsletters, Jackie's mentioned, should you be selling in a newsletter?
No, because a newsletter...
my gut was no, because a newsletter is information, as you said earlier, and what you need to be able to do is move those people through your funnel from when you do your campaign, like, you know, your newsletter and telling them a bit about you, into a more sales specific group, tag, whatever you like to call it, campaign. So am I right in that? You'd agree, wouldn't you, Kate?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and the thing is that, you know, all we're looking at here is what we're calling the different templates that you're sending out to people. So a newsletter is something informational based, perhaps you're giving tips or inspiration, something like that. But then you can have an email that goes out in exactly the same template, but the focus of the email is sales related. So then that's a sales email. You know, so it's just the name that people are giving to the emails. But basically, you just want to have a look at what is the objective of that email. Is it to give information? Is it to build a relationship? Is it brand awareness? Is it direct sales? Is it to convert them to watch a video? You know, what is the objective of that email? And then forget about whether it's a newsletter or a sales email, or the names we give to them. What is the objective of that email? What is that call to action that you want subscribers to do? So if you want to sell in an email, that's your call to action. That's the conversion that you want people to make. So that's going to be the main focus of your email. Now, within that, you might give different tips and things, but your call to action is to go through and buy. So, you know, your objective is to sell them something. So look at it more from that sense, rather than, you know, whether we're terming it a newsletter or a sales email or whatever it is.
Yeah, Leon's saying, you know, what problem are you solving? That's it. You've got to find out what their need is. Why are they there? What are they needing from you? So that's really crucial to find that out. Now I'm going to ask one more question to Kate, but before I do, I just wanted to remind you that if you are watching the replay, you can watch it on www.businessrocks.co/live after the replay has disappeared off of Blab. You can go and still see it over there. And also, just to thank Kate before she disappears, but we'll ask her one more quick question. And Kate obviously has shared lots of her expertise, which she's gained over the last probably about 12 years now, isn't it, Kate? So she has set up a lot of retail email marketing for big people like Adidas, Marks and Spencer's, and a number of the big retail sales operators, and runs her own online business over at www.shinealightmedia.com. So if you like what Kate's been sharing, do go check her out, follow her on Twitter, follow her on Blab. And the last question for you, Kate, because Kate, bless her, was up all night at a party. So I was just keeping that one quiet. But she's looking really glamorous today. She's probably really tired, so she's ready for an afternoon nap.
That makes me sound really bad. I'm out partying on a Tuesday night. But just to explain, I have another business as well. So I have a retail business that's a catering business. And we were catering an album launch party for Ed Sheeran's cousin last night. So I was out partying with, I don't know if I'd call them stars, if I'm honest. But we met quite a few famous people and things like that. So we were schmoozing and trying to get some more business and things. So it was a really, really great night, but it was a very late night. I think we got home at about 1 a.m. So yeah.
Oh, that's not late. That's not too bad. But yeah, I appreciate you, and I appreciate all of you giving up your time and joining in with the conversation here about email marketing. So my last question was one that Gary mentioned about mobile formatting. How important is it for us now to be doing that?
Massively.
And then we're going to say goodbye after that. So thank you all so much for joining in, and let Kate talk about that one now. So.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really important. You know, mobile phone formatting is really important. So you're going to have anywhere between 20% and 70% of your list that are opening your emails on a mobile device. So for B2B, I have seen with some of my clients, it's that lower end of the percentages. And I think that's just the behavior of businesses and things like that. And again, it depends on your audience. But certainly for anyone targeting consumers, that just gets higher and higher. And I mean, I've seen people with 70-80% of the opens happening on a mobile device. So it's absolutely critical. And there's lots and lots of different ways that you can make your emails mobile responsive. And just a quick note, I know that Google did an update, I think it was earlier on this year, where you were penalized if your website wasn't mobile responsive. So if you don't have your website as mobile responsive, really key. But also leading through from your emails, if your emails are mobile responsive and then your website isn't, or vice versa, it's not a very good experience for the consumer. But yeah, absolutely. In terms of emails, make them mobile responsive. Lots of different ways you can do that. You know, from literally just having, you know, I've seen someone mentioning about plain text. Absolutely, that can be a way to do it. Or having a simple HTML design. That's a way to do it very simply with HTML, all the way through to the quite complex responsive design email templates. Now, if you're using something like MailChimp, Aweber, Constant Contact, Infusionsoft, anything where they're giving you templates, most of those templates should already be mobile responsive and optimized for you. So just double check that and see how it displays. But a true mobile responsive email will either be a one column or it will resize based on your screen. So an Android, an iPhone, or an iPad, it will resize depending on the mobile device. And truly responsive will stack content one under the other. So if you've got, let's say, a 3-column design on your email, normally they will be stacked one under the other in an email design that's responsive. So lots of different ways to do it. But yes, absolutely, it's so critical because so many opens are happening on a mobile device, and we want to make sure that people can consume your content and also take the action that you want them to. So having nice big buttons and lots of space around them is really key. So someone's just said it doesn't help if the images are off. So I'm just going to say on Apple devices particularly, just as an example, images are turned on by default in your email. So if you open an email on your iPhone, for example, images are turned on by default. But if you're looking at it on a webmail or desktop, images are usually turned off by default. So you do need to make sure that you're designing your images with image suppression in mind. And if somebody doesn't turn on those images, that they can still get the main message and complete your call to action without turning on those images. So, you know, use it as a 70-30 in terms of text versus images, and you'll be absolutely fine on that.
Yeah, that's great. Really valid stuff. And I think the key word that I pick up from that, Kate, is the word experience, because it's so important to put yourself in your potential buyers, customers' shoes. You know, I use my mobile phone. I'm waiting to get the next 7. I've got the 5S here, but basically, with Infusionsoft, I make my fonts larger, so it's really easy to read on mobile. Make sure you look at your own emails on your phone and you know, make sure they're readable and, you know, really clear for people. So yeah, great tips there, Kate. So thank you once again. We're going to wrap up now, and I've been told we just click a load of X's and it all disappears. So thank you so much once again, Kate. And that's fantastic. I loved sharing that. We will do another blab on email marketing again, won't we? So
absolutely. Thank you so much.
Wherever you are in the world, have a great day, and we will catch up with you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Emma. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.